Okay, let me start the session proper. Hi everyone, a brief background on who I am. I'm Gwen, I'm a marketing specialist at Amazon Global Selling, and I have here with me an awesome team of people who are involved in the Philippines expansion team. Tristan, who is our business development and partnerships manager, and Singwei, who is our account manager, who you meet right after my presentation. And after the sharing sessions from our speakers, we will have a networking session where you can actually meet up with all these e-commerce service providers or our account manager or myself to ask questions that you might have throughout the whole series of presentations that we're going to have lined up for you later. And just a notice that all the information presented today are proprietary to Amazon. And before I jump into the content of today, let me just take some time to pause on this slide to share about our vibrant seller community. So do join our Facebook community if you haven't done so, or if you're not one of our members, because this community is super, super vibrant, and this is where all of our team actually push out our events. For all of you to sign up, and if you have any friends or family members who are actually interested to become Amazon sellers, please get them to join this community, because this is a community where, if you have any questions, you can just post them. And I'm part of the admin team as well, together with a few of my other colleagues who are actually working very hard behind the scenes to actually answer your questions. And also, if you follow our community, we will have tips and advices that actually sometimes we will post on the Facebook, and then we will actually help you guys sell and get success on Amazon. And this is a place where sellers help sellers as well. So we have existing sellers who are in this community who actually help aspiring sellers like yourself. So whenever they have questions, existing sellers will help to answer, and people who actually experience and have similar experiences will actually share their experiences. So this is a super good place to actually ask questions or learn more about selling on Amazon. So why sell on Amazon? Reaching a widespread customer base across borders, we have over 300 million active customer base and 200 million plus Prime members on Amazon. And on top of that, we're also present in over 20 stores worldwide. So then you might ask, how am I supposed to start right? How do we get started selling on Amazon? Firstly, let me walk you through the whole selling journey. They will usually begin with registration and getting started, like knowing what is Amazon Global Selling all about, like what you're doing here, seated here to learn more about global selling. And then you will proceed to register with us. And after all the registration processes, you will be ready to launch a store on Amazon.com. That's when you start listing your products. And after which, it will be a subsequent stage where you're actually scaling your business with the support of our brand building tools and widening your reach as well as scaling upwards. And then taking a closer look at the whole seller journey. So this image actually breaks down into multiple stages, right? How that launch journey actually looks like. I won't be delving into the details of these small stages, but if you'd like to understand more and read more about what exactly happens at each stage, you can actually look into our Amazon Perfect Launch Playbook, which my colleague Singwei, who's going to present right after me, he's going to zoom in into how the Perfect Launch Playbook looks like, and he will teach you how to navigate that launch playbook. And becoming a brand owner on Amazon, what it takes and what it means to be a brand owner is selling original products with your own branding, which would otherwise mean as there would be reselling of branded products, and you own the end-to-end process of sourcing your products and then selling them, and then selling products with a US trademark. So in order for you to be registered in Amazon Brand Registry, you got to have a US trademark, and this we will have Accolade IP, who is going to go into the details on how you can actually get a US trademark and how to apply for it. And actually, Amazon actually protects brand owners who are registered in the brand registry. So what does that mean for you? It actually means that if, for example, other people actually sell your product, with Amazon protecting brand owners, and if you are actually registered in the brand registry, Amazon will actually flag the other account who is actually selling your own product, and their account will be blocked. So it is very important that you are registered with us in the brand registry to protect your intellectual property and your product. And an overview of a seller code of conduct: being an Amazon seller would mean that you will not operate in more than one selling account on Amazon without a legitimate business reason, and do not attempt to actually influence customer ratings or reviews. What does this mean? It means you cannot get your family members to write reviews for you, neither can you get your friends to write positive reviews about your product. It's all about upholding trustworthiness, and also to take note of counterfeit or illegally replicated goods are definitely not. Next, we must all know the costs involved in selling on Amazon. So let me just share a bit about the cost components, bear with me. It can be broken down into 4 different parts. First is the selling plan. I highly recommend to actually get started with the professional selling plan. Being on professional selling plan would mean, 1, it gives you greater access to customize your store settings. 2, to actually provide a better shopping experience for your customers. And to top it all off, our team will be providing account management support on your first 90 days on your onboarding for professional sellers only. And the professional plan, it costs around USD $9.99 per unit sale, and the professional plan costs $39.99 per month. And I've got a good news, just holding in just a minute. Let me share you in just a bit. The next fees is referral fees. So Amazon actually charges a percentage fee on items sold. So the amount actually varies across different product categories, but it only ranges around 8% to 17%. And next is fulfillment fees. This is only applicable if you choose to ship your products with fulfillment by Amazon, otherwise known as FBA. You will hear this term FBA being thrown around throughout my presentation today. I'll explain a bit more about FBA in just a little bit. And lastly, all other costs. This is additional fees for such as long-term storage fees or other optional items that you might opt for during your launch process. And this is the good news. We're super excited to launch a 6-month discount on the professional selling plan to the sellers in Philippines, which is yourself, who to register on Amazon Global Selling for the first time. So you complete your registration as soon as you can, because this fee waiver is only made available for a limited amount of time. So essentially with this fee waiver, what it means is that you're only paying $1 for the first month, and the subsequent months, 5 months, you will be paying USD $0. And this is a fee waiver of the professional selling plan. And this waiver will be active for all sellers who complete their registration between today till April 3rd, 2024. And to learn more and read more about the fee waiver, because there are terms and conditions that come with it, you can actually scan this QR code on the screen to actually read more about the fee waiver. This is a super exciting promotion that I'm super excited to share with all of you. So just like to stop and pause here for a minute so that all of you can scan and catch this important piece of news. Sorry. All good? Okay, a few more points. All right, okay, moving on. If you didn't manage to catch, you can just reach out to me later on. I'll give you the link. And next, know-how 3, we need to know what to sell on Amazon. So while we offer the ability for sellers to actually sell a variety of categories on Amazon.com, but not all categories are available to all sellers. Some will require a professional selling plan, some do not, and some will require additional approval to sell. And it's very important for you to understand these policies, because Amazon would need you to submit additional documentations or approvals before you're allowed to sell. And you can find out more information on our website or your selling account once you've registered with us. So all of us here are actually at different phases of your selling journey. So some of us here may have a product, some of us don't, but the actions taken over here actually differs. So, but the tools that can be used are the same. So I would like to take this opportunity to share with all of you about this tool called Product Opportunity Explorer tool. My colleague Sing Wei, who will be going through a bit, touch a little bit more on Product Opportunity Explorer tool, but I would just like to introduce this tool to you. It is a free tool that is made available under the Professional Selling Plan. And there are some external tools that you can also use for product research. There are Helium 10 as well as Jungle Scout. But for Helium 10 and Jungle Scout, they come at a fee. Okay? And for sellers with a product, these tools will allow you to do competitive research. So what does competitive research mean? It means that you can find out keywords that are surrounding your products, find out reviews that are given within your product category, or how many reviews do these products actually have, or what kind of keywords to use, and seeing the sales volume that these keywords are actually getting. So what you can get out of these information that's given to you, right? All these key insights actually will help you better understand how you can price your product. So that means it affects your pricing strategy. You can learn how about what kind of keywords to use, and also how much stock you can inbound. And for those sellers who are still in search of a product to sell, you can use these tools to actually discover unmet and underserved demand. What does unmet and underserved demand mean? It means to actually find niche opportunities and to assess your competition, to find out what customers are searching for and what are the needs that are present but are not yet addressed. And what do I mean by that? So that means when we shop right on Amazon.com, we always search something. And when we search something, so Amazon actually collates all this customer data, and then we're able to actually check and see what kind of search people actually, what kind of popular searches that are actually in the current store. So what's the most popular keywords, what are the trends, and these are ways that you can identify certain unmet needs and then use that as an opportunity and leverage those insights to actually help you do your product research. It is important to choose the right product to sell. One of the common questions that a lot of our account managers actually get is, what should I sell that would actually do well? Frankly speaking, we see opportunities across many categories, but it all boils down to how much you're willing to invest and how you actually strategize your business. Hence, for sellers that do not have a product yet, you will need to invest time to actually do your research and find the niche opportunity that I mentioned previously. And so this is how the Product Opportunity Explorer tool works. So when the customer searches, like what I said, so the customer actually tells Amazon what they actually want. So from there, we'll be able to find the niche, because Amazon actually combines these search terms surrounding specific shopping needs. And then that's where we identify the unmet demand. So when customers can't find what they're looking for or dissatisfied with these or new products that are likely to sell well, these are the unmet demand. And sellers actually, like yourself, can actually use this information to actually launch a new product. So, although you can sell almost anything on Amazon stores, it is always good to start from, always a good place to start for aspiring e-commerce store owners are products that are easy to package and ship, have branding potential, and are affordable for customers and have a long shelf life. So I'll just pause here for a minute because you guys can scan the QR code to actually learn more about the tips about finding the right product. Or if you don't want to scan the QR code, you can just type the link. It's bit.ly/right product to sell. All right. Oh, okay. So some of you still scanning this QR code. Okay. So I'll just like you to meet Cyril. He's a 7-figure Amazon seller and our Amazon seller ambassador. Allows Cyril to actually weigh in on achieving success on Amazon. Let me share his experience with you. So at the start of his selling journey, Cyril was very passionate about golf. So Cyril actually, he wanted to sell something that was related to his hobby. But later he also learned that it was important to actually conduct product research before, based on keyword research and revenue calculations, as well as to analyze customer reviews to ensure that a product is able to sell well before moving on. So taking his experience with the golf club brush as an example. So Cyril actually realized in hindsight that there were actually more than 400 similar listings of golf club brushes on Amazon back in 2018. And all the listings also look similar, with only a slight differentiation in branding. From there, actually, he learned that it is more important to choose a product category that has unique differentiation to its products that actually stands out among the sea of competitors. Hence, it is very, very important to identify and know what to sell through product research. Other than those tools that I've mentioned previously about Product Opportunity Explorer tool or Helium 10 or Jungle Scout, you may also discover more tips on finding the right products. We have category guides, we have bestseller lists, helpful resources. You can scan this QR code to access our What to Sell page here. This is where Amazon actually shares a lot of our resources. They're completely free, don't need to pay, and all these resources are actually super valuable to you because when you're actually trying to launch a product on Amazon, sometimes you might face roadblocks and we may not be there all the time to actually help you answer the questions, but if you access all these resources and have a read or have a search, actually all these resources come in really handy for you as well. Another know-how that is important, is fulfillment. And just now I mentioned fulfillment by Amazon. So now I'll go into detail what is fulfillment by Amazon. There are two main ways of how you can fulfill your order on Amazon.com. One is fulfillment by merchant. Otherwise, it means that you are fulfilling the orders yourself. As you can see from the table, as a seller, if you actually choose to fulfill the order by yourself, you will need to prepare each order. You will need to directly answer customer queries in their local languages within 24 hours. And also you will have to provide customers with a return address information in the US. Fulfillment by Amazon, on the other hand, would mean that actually Amazon processes the order for you, deliver it to your customer, and Amazon will actually answer all customer queries on your behalf in their local languages. And lastly, they will manage the return processes for you. And as you can see, using FBA, you can scale up your business really quickly. Running a business is already hard enough, so let Amazon do the heavy lifting for you. All the manual, time-consuming work, you can leave it to us, and then you can focus on more important business developments that will actually propel your business forward. Alright, so I'd like you to meet Steve, another of our seller. He's the founder of Petite Simone, a brand that actually sells bags. They launched in 2021. They're a Singapore brand that continues to see actually 80 to 90% growth in monthly sales in the US. And they actually hit a 6-figure sales in less than a year. And with his experience on selling on Amazon, he cannot emphasize enough about the importance of FBA. So there are many aspects to a business, and you may be dealing with many moving parts at the same time, and logistics is actually one area which is extremely crucial to the business, but yet is the most time-consuming. So as part of FBA, by allowing Amazon to actually manage all your customer inquiries, all your returns, and all your refunds, you can actually focus your energy on growing your business. So with FBA, it actually saves you the time, allows you to scale your business fast and more easily. Last but not least, I would just like to show you how others do it. So many sellers like yourself actually started off small, but grew and enjoyed success on Amazon. So let me just share some commonly asked questions. Okay, one question is Amazon.com only for big brands? And the answer is no. So actually taking it closer to home, right? Because I've shared so many examples of Singaporean sellers. Our seller ambassador Joseph, he's actually based in the Philippines. He also enjoyed success on Amazon. So Joseph is actually the founder of Argon 40. And emphasize that it is, as an emerging brand and startup, Amazon actually played a big role in leveling the playing field for a small brand like him to actually be together in the same place with established brands. So it is completely possible for small brands, sellers like yourself to also achieve success on Amazon. And another question that we like to address is that certain people will ask, what do you like best about being an Amazon global seller? So from being a digital nomad, working across the globe at your own time, having more time with your families, and ultimately being your own boss, these are just some of the great things that you will be able to experience as an e-commerce business owner. Let me now share with you about new seller incentives. So what's in it for sellers like you who just joined us? Only made available to sellers that are on our brand registry. To actually help you ease the cost and the risk of starting Amazon.com, we actually introduced this new seller incentive program, and it can be broken down into 3 different parts. So the first part is growing your brand. It's for new sellers who are identified as brand owners on our brand registry. Within the first 6 months, can actually enjoy benefits of up to 5% bonus, of up to $1 million eligible sales. So that's up to about 50K in bonus. And second, you will be granted about $200 USD in credits for fulfillment fees for using Amazon Global Logistics, and you will also get free storage and free liquidations with FBA. Lastly, you get to promote your product and get $50 credit for sponsored ads. So now if you're interested in going global with Amazon, scan this QR code and register your interest with us. Some of you might have registered when you just came in, so this is the same QR code. Please, by registering your interest today, you stand to receive the all-important free one-to-one account management support and the perfect launch playbook in 90 days. So by registering your interest, you'll be contacted by my sales team for a non-obligatory in-depth consultation session for you to take your business global. My account managers will also be sharing more details on the incentive program, which I've shared earlier. And if you have any queries at all, you can actually reach out to them as well. Next, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce to you, if you're interested in registering with us but you don't know how to get started. This is a webinar that is held by Amazon for free to actually guide aspiring sellers like yourself through the registration process. It's a step-by-step guide, which means that the Amazon expert will actually do a live demo with all of you to actually guide you through the different steps that you need to take in order to actually register with Amazon. So you just scan this QR code over here, and our next session is on 4th December, which is coming up really, really soon. You can sign up for it. It will be a webinar, a free webinar. Let me repeat, it's free. So you can just scan and then join using the link that will be sent to your email. And then my colleague who will be organizing this webinar will be able to help you. All right. And last but not least, I would also like to share with everyone that actually Amazon has many, many events such as this or many other webinars that covers many different topics. So for example, if you feel that you're at the stage where you need to know more about ads, you need to know more about listing, or you need to know more about account registration or whatsoever, we have many, many topics on different areas. Like for example, if you're interested in brand registry, we also have a webinar on that. And this is where you can find a lot of our upcoming events and our upcoming updates. This is our Philippine site for our PH sellers. So what you do is you navigate to upcoming events, and then you can scroll and you can see the different webinars that are actually held for you guys. And you can see whether some of these events are actually held in person or online, because sometimes we do virtual events as well. And also you have in-person events like these where all aspiring sellers like yourself come together and meet with like e-commerce service providers as well as us. And also during our webinars, we hold like monthly webinars or topical webinars. They also sometimes we have e-commerce service providers who will be joining us as well. And this is also a place where you can get all the useful resources, so you don't have to scramble everywhere. This is one place where all of our, it's like a repository of resources as well, so you can just navigate the website and find out more. And with that, I would like to close my presentation and hand over the time to my account manager, Singwei, who's going to share more about crafting the perfect launch on Amazon.com. Okay, let's give Singwei a round of applause. Singwei, please.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I would like to also thank Gwen for the insightful presentation she had earlier on. We should clap for her as well. Okay. Thank you everyone for attending today's event. I hope you guys are really intrigued by what Gwen has shared and what Amazon actually has for you guys as a seller on Amazon, right? So to begin, I would like to actually ask a few questions. May I know how many of you are actually a brand owner? Means you actually own a brand, you are selling something on Amazon, selling something on Shopee, Lazada, you even have a physical store. Anyone can be. Anyone here is a distributor. So you're buying something from certain brands. Sorry, just keep your hands up. Okay. Anyone of you are aware what Amazon Global is selling already after what Gwen said, and think that your product is ready to sell on Amazon.com right now? Okay, good to know. Anyone here? Alright, then I guess, should I assume that everyone else here is looking at a product research stage? So you're thinking of what to sell on Amazon, correct? So, hence, anyone at a product research stage? Okay, good to know. Alright, so if you are at a product research stage, or anyone that is a brand owner already, anyone that has a product ready to be shipped to Amazon, even as a distributor who have experience in retail, have experience in distributing product within Philippines, right? So what I would actually recommend and suggest is why be a normal seller when you can be a brand owner, right? So what's the benefit of being brand owner? Not just within the US. I believe you guys are aware of the benefits of being a brand owner even in Philippines as well, right? So how can a branded goods be priced differently for a non-branded goods? And this is why we want to explain and promote how Amazon can actually help you be a better brand owner, not just be a normal reseller. Okay, let me begin. So in this agenda, I'll be really covering a lot about brand building first. After that, I'll be touching a bit on how do you have a perfect launch, and maybe you can take some question after. Alright, so there are about 500,000 brands enrolled into Amazon Brand Registry. And why should you be building a brand, right? So 50% of overseas consumers choose familiar brands. This is something which most Filipinos, and we are trying to buy some food, buying shampoo, buying your headphone, your speakers, we go for brands that are familiar with, especially if you are willing to pay for quality, especially if you are willing to pay for a better value product. You go for branded goods, right? Next, 80% of customers on Amazon is more willing to discover a new brands and product on Amazon. 50% of US consumers are more willing to discover new brands than before the pandemic. And most brand owners have 1.5 times faster than other sellers on average. This is why we encourage sellers to be a brand owner. At the same time, how Amazon empower these brand owners. This is something I'm going to share later. And if you have intention to be a brand owner, you need to do this before you start selling on Amazon. This is important to make sure that whatever efforts that you're going to put in for the next 90 days before you launch your product, you are going to be translating them into a long-term investment. If you're spending money to run advertisements on your product, you need to make sure that you have a great brand. You have a brand store that which I'm going to cover later. You have Amazon advertisement where you can make use of, and even the Amazon influencer program, something called Amazon Vine later we're covering. So this is why if you want to sell a product on Amazon, start being a brand owner. Alright, so we're going to start with build. How do you build a brand on Amazon? How can you grow your brand on Amazon? And I will not be touching Protect today because this is after we have launched your product. So what do Amazon has for you to be a brand owner? There's an A+ content, Amazon buying program, brand customer review, allow you to interact with your customer, and lastly, Amazon brand store. So when you are selling your products online, can you put a promoter next to your product and tell him why should you be buying this beauty product? How does this beauty product is going to help you to be fairer, help you to have better skin? No, you can't. So how does A+ content going to help you? Because from here, with A+ content, you're able to tell your brand story using on the detail page, using the content that you are creating with your marketing team. And this actually has seen a 5.6% increase in sales. It may look insignificant, but the investment that you're paying a promoter to be telling potential customer next to you and say, hey, buy this product, instead of this is a one-time effort that you need to make sure your detail page has sufficient information to help you convert your customer. Amazon Vine. When you guys are buying a product, especially new brands, new product, you rely on word of mouth. Your friends are telling you, you're probably watching a video, you're probably watching a blog to understand why you need to do a product research. End of the day, word of mouth is usually trustworthy. And if a product has 1,000 reviews telling you that this is a great product, are you more confident buying it compared to a new product that has no reviews? So it's important that when you launch a new product, Amazon has this program called Amazon Vine for brand owner. You can give out product for free to up to 30 customers, and this 30 customers will help you kickstart your reviews. And this is very critical for you, especially if your product is new on Amazon. So like I mentioned, these are the benefits that encourage feedback, improve conversion, improve visibility, and eventually if you're running advertisement, you need to make sure that when customers enter your product page, there's some reviews for them to read and encourage them to check out, because great reviews equals to higher chance of checkout. Before the last one, actually, brand customer reviews. This allows you to reach out and contact customers that give you 1 to 3 star reviews. What do you not want at the end of the day is customers giving you 1 to 3 star reviews, you're not able to address them, and a second customer come in and read those reviews. So these are a way for you to contact the customer, especially to address and understand why is the customer giving you bad reviews. It may be because the customer are not aware of how to use your product. It may be because that customer happen to receive a product that has some defect, and you are more than willing to exchange for them, right? So this is a tool for you to interact with your customer. And lastly, having a brand store. Having a brand store is able to tell your brand story. This is how it's going to appear. You can even categorize your product by profile, customer profile, age group, seasonality. If it's Christmas, how do you want to bundle your product together? So having a brand store allows you to interact with your customer better, and in return, actually increase your sales. So how can Amazon help you grow your brand on Amazon in the long run? If those people are selling on Shopee, Lazada in Philippines, you guys are probably very aware of how competitive it is with people selling the same product. So how does Amazon provide you with information that allows you to make better choices? For example, there's something called the Amazon search terms, right? So what are customers searching for? So with understanding a search term, it allows you to better utilize this search term and invest them on Amazon Ads search to make sure your products are visible when customers are searching for certain products. So there are other information like demographics, understanding which demographics are buying your product, down to how often a customer buying your product, the repeat purchase behavior. Moving on to Amazon advertising, this is what I shared earlier on, the importance of it. If you are not a brand owner, you can only do sponsored product, which is very minimal. However, as a brand owner, you are able to do sponsored brand video, and sponsored display. Alright? So for sponsored brand, this is how it's going to appear on the desktop. It's going to appear at the top. So if you are buying a keyword of bedding, this is how your brand and your store will appear. And when they click through it, we will enter into your store. So what's going to appear is your brand store, the top 3 ASINs that you would like to to share with your customer and you want them to view. So on the mobile phone as well, it appears at the top of search. This is where most people will definitely have high exposure of. Next, sponsored display. How does sponsored display actually works? So, have you ever noticed if you are shopping on Amazon.com and you move on to other web pages, like for example, this is probably some news page, and you realize that the product you last viewed on Amazon is actually following you. So this is how Amazon allows you to target your customer in and off Amazon.com. So with this target, it constantly reminds customer that this product is something that you are looking for, and previously it may be at 150 and now it's 132. There's a discount now, would you like to purchase? And if you happen to remember the last price and now there's a discount, there's a highly likely that your customer will convert and purchase your product. By clicking through it, and it brings them to your product page. So like I mentioned, this is on and off Amazon page. So how to be a brand owner? You need to be a trademark. You need to have a US trademark to be a brand owner. I understand those brand owners in Philippines may have Philippine trademarks. However, it's going to be helpful if you have Philippine trademarks, and it helps you to apply for the US trademark a lot faster. We have a partner today over there, Accolade IP. They'll be sharing a bit more on the process and how they can help you apply for US trademark. Alright, so the governing body of US Patent and Trademark Office is called USPTO. Make sure if you're applying for a trademark, you are going to the right platform and you're not paying someone else money wrongly. So after you get your US trademark, you should apply for an Amazon brand registry. This allows you to protect your brand on Amazon to make sure that your competitor or someone else that try to imitate your product will not be able to sell on Amazon. Alright? Quickly going down to Product Opportunity Explorer, how do you know your product is right? And how do you know your product is going to be at a competitive price as your competitor, right? Most of you currently, if you do not have Amazon seller account, you can only look at Amazon.com and try to figure out what's the average price that people are selling, what's the most common product that appears when you search for a product. So with this Product Opportunity Explorer, I will be showing you how to get there later. It allows you to look at customer searches as the niche within a category. So what does niche? Niche is, a category is probably household equipment. Something as a category is probably the water bottle. And what's a niche? A niche would be a thermoflask water bottle. A niche would be a metal water bottle, plastic water bottle, something more specific. Then you can look at unmet demand, even new products that you can compare and consider. So how do you get here? If you have Amazon seller account, you go to growth and look for Product Opportunity Explorer. From here, you can look at category search. You can look at the top picks based on the current catalog that Amazon have, and even search term, right? So basically, you just search if you are planning to sell a water bottle, you just search water bottle, and you are going to see information that's going to be very, very helpful. So what you're going to see is what are the top selling products. What's the search term that customers look at? Probably customers search for green water bottle, black water bottle, thermoflask, 16-ounce water bottle. So this is some of terms that you can consider. How do you name your product? There's insights that there are also trends. So this is the kind of information that you definitely look at. I'll be sharing a bit more on the actual site in a bit. Alright, before we go to the actual presentation, one thing that I believe Gwen was sharing just now, Amazon has a lot of tools and readily information for you. If you are not an existing seller, make sure you remember this website, right? This is where all the important information, if you are not a seller yet, do not have access to Seller Central, come to this page. We have all the latest update for you for new seller, right? So you can take a photo, sell.amazon.com.sg/North America/Philippines. This is where we consolidate all our informations, the upcoming workshops and webinars. And what I would like to bring to your attention is actually the past webinars as well as all the useful resources. If you have not registered your account, look at this beginner guide. If you already have an account, looking at what to sell, do not have a Seller Central, look at Perfect Jumpstarts and Launch Playbook. This is where I'll be touching a bit more. Seller Registration Guide is over here. This is where Amazon Brand Registry Guide is over here as well. Alright? So, even at the Seller Perfect Launch guide, we are going to split this into two groups of people. Like I meant us just now, who's a brand owner, who have a product ready to sell, then you will actually, this is an interactive PDF. You can click onto this and it brings you to this page. And if you are a new seller with no product, click onto it, it will jump to page 19, and from here, it will probably guide you on how to research your product and what to sell. So what I'm going to cover today will be as much as I can. However, if you'd like to do more research, find out more, you can actually utilize this. Alright? So let me use I see actually most of you are actually new sellers with no product. Let me use this as a reference because the start state will be different. However, when you move down, it will be similar, right? So when I actually share with you the selling plans, research what to sell, I'll actually share about Product Opportunity Explorer. You need to register for an account. That will be helpful for you. Otherwise, you can use readily available tools later on. After then, you need to source your product in manufacturer, then launch on Amazon, list your product, then scale your business. So moving down, this is really where you kind of spend time, get a trademark, find a supplier. Once you have all this and your product is ready, what you need to do now is actually list your product. This is critical to make sure your product is ready. Like I mentioned earlier on, make sure you have your brand registry before you list your product, right? So you can also calculate your estimated revenue with revenue calculator that I'll share a bit, as well as moving on to create an FBA shipment that ships into Amazon warehouse where Gwen shared just now, with using of FBA to ship your product to your customer in the US, hassle-free for you. Trust me, if you are buying a product and you do not want to wait for more than 2 weeks, and if you are shipping from Philippines to US, and there are similar products in the US that's maybe $10 to 20% cheaper, in the US they actually value convenience and speed way more than Southeast Asia. Yeah, this is something I have realized when I asked my friends and colleagues that live in the US and moved on to Singapore. Alright? So these are what we call these are 90-day guides. So we hope to look at how people can look at launch within 90 days, but 90 days is just a reference. You can actually, some people may take longer for any reasons. You take time to find the right supplier for your products, right? So there's one thing that I really want to share today. It's actually the revenue calculator. So I was just using an example, water bottle. I just searched water bottle so this is an example of A+ content. So it's randomly searched water bottle, this came out as a top search. So how do I know every product on Amazon has a unique identity? So in most businesses we call it SKU, in Amazon we call it AC, right? So we just need to Control F, search for ASIN, ASIN. This is the unique identity of every product on Amazon. You can use it, copy it, and come over here to the revenue calculator. So how to get the revenue calculator? This is available for everyone, not just someone that has a Seller Central account. So if you have a Seller Central, log into it, otherwise just continue as a guest. Either you copy the ASIN number, otherwise, how do Amazon actually charge your FBA product is actually by the dimension of your product. So you just need to input the dimension of your products and the weight, and select the category. Category determines the referral fee that Amazon actually charge, and you can actually search. So to simplify this, let me just paste the ASIN number that I get there. If this is the closest product in terms of closest product you're actually planning to sell, you should get the ASIN number and get a reference, right? So over here, this product is selling at $22.99, right? Amazon fees here showing $4.44. So referral fee is a percentage of the selling price that Amazon actually take from sellers. This is by category, so you can go and search for what's the referral fee by category. Fixed closing fee, this 99 cents will be waived off if you are on a professional plan paying $39.99 a month. There's no variable closing cost. Fulfillment cost is fixed at $6.60. This is based on the weight and the dimension of your product. Alright? If you would like Amazon to do certain tape, labeling, bubble wrap, these are the fees. I can tell you, do not ask Amazon to help you do special services like this. It costs a lot more, trust me. It will be probably 10 cents or 5 cents in Philippines if you're packing from here. So don't choose this. Pack it well in Philippines so that you don't have to spend that kind of money. Storage fees. I would actually usually use this example. If you're planning to sell 1,000 a month, 800 units a month, I would actually, the average unit I have in US will be 1,000. So I'll buffer 200 units, which is 20% of your product, to buffer for shipment delay from anywhere you want to source from into US. So I would usually plan to sell 800, I should buffer another 10 to 20% as a buffer, right? So this is the estimated storage cost. It makes up to about 20 cents per unit. So storage cost is relatively safe if you are able to plan your sales properly, right? So it's very important to understand how your sales volume do not overstock your goods on Amazon. And the good thing is if you are using FBA and you are a brand owner, Amazon actually helps you by waiving off 120 days of shipping, of storage. This is something that we encourage sellers to try out new product shipping to Amazon, and this 120 days is actually very helpful to allow you to build up your sales volume, build up your traffic, build up your customer, build up your reviews so that it helps you to kickstart your sales. Alright, so let me make a guess. This water bottle probably produced in China, produced in Philippines, you can probably source this product for $5. Right? So miscellaneous costs, I would actually look at about $1 to $2, depends on product. Let's say over here, let's say I spend $2 on advertising to advertise this product per unit, right? So this makes my profit margin to be $4.75, and then net margin is 20%. Is this decent? Yes, I would think so, right? So this is how I would actually encourage everyone to at least use this tool to determine and be aware of how much are you planning to sell, how much should you be selling, and to even make sense whether are you going to get a profit by shipping this product to the US, and ultimately have a sustainable business on Amazon.com. Alright? Any questions on revenue calculator?
Sir,
Yes?
the fulfillment, FBA,
Sorry,
they calculate by number of stocks or by cubic meter when you store your item?
sorry again?
do they compute their charges for
Yes.
the FBA warehouse
Yes.
by cubic meter or by
By
item?
cubic meter. So this is a very rough gauge on how to compute based on so it's by cubic meter, right? So this ASIN actually already have a dimensions. So with this they help you compute the cubic meter. So the faster you sell, you are entitled to more cubic meter in the long run. But at the start, as a first year seller, Amazon do not restrict you. Alright? First year Amazon do not restrict you, but in the long run, Amazon will assign you the right cubic meter so that you do not overstock as well. Okay? Alright, then let me move on to the most asked question on how do I research my product, which I shared just now earlier on. This is a demo account, so you won't be seeing a lot of information here. It's just going to the growth and go to product opportunity explorer. So what I mentioned just now is, if I'm looking at water bottle, just key in water bottle. There's a lot of way to interpret this information, really based on how you want to start, who do you want to look at, and what you want to sell, right? Water bottle is the most generic term I can use. I can even go down to brand. I can go down to who I want to sell the water bottle to, kids water bottle. These are brands. Do I want to have a very compact water bottle? Do I want to have a very big water bottle? Do I want to have a glass, something for hot water? By brand for dogs even, right? So based on what you want to sell, you can click onto it. Let's look at a kid water bottle. So for kids water bottle, let's look at how well is it doing in the US, Amazon.com, right? There are 9 million people searching for it. And the search volume is growing by 53% for the past 180 days. Number of top click products. So imagine there are 100, let's say 5,000 kids water bottle. 186 actually contributes to the top search product, click product, sorry. And the average price is $15.63. Do you want to sell your kids water bottle at $50? If the average selling price is at $15, you can pay with a variant of 20 to 25%, lesser or higher. But if you're pricing yourself 200 to 300% more, do you want to be there unless you have a very good brand story, like how, an example I will use is Dyson selling 200 to 300% more than any other hairdryer. If you have a very good story to tell, if you have very good technology, you can, but however, use this average selling price as a reference if your product is going to be closer to your competitor, right? So average units sold for the past 360 days is about 750 to 1,000 units. If you want to be very specific to look at specific competitor, this is probably one of the top click product, not purchase product. And this is number, they're selling at $9.59 and there are about 18,000 ratings. Imagine this person actually has 18,000 ratings. The average score is 4.7. See, over here, it's important. And anyone that's top seller has almost as high as the minimum rating over here is 4.4 out of 5. And this is the ranking and average number of sellers selling it. So this is how I will actually use it. Go down, search terms. These are the things that customers actually search and see this product. So you can actually think of how you want to name your product, how you want to spend money on advertisement to make sure your product is being featured when people are searching for it. Moving down to insights. What can I get insights out of here? Alright, let's look at this. Percentage of product using sponsored product for the past 360 days. If you are trying to sell a new water bottle and you don't use Amazon advertising, you are most likely not to be found in the Amazon search page because 80% of the people are willing to pay money to advertise their product. It's very important to advertise your product, especially if you are on platforms that are very, very competitive, which US is a very competitive place where a lot of sellers are trying to sell either similar, replacement, or competitive product. Alright? So interesting things here is over top 5 product click share. Imagine in this category of kids water bottle, 5 product actually contributes to 11% of the whole category click-through. It means that imagine there are 5,000 water bottles and 5 products actually are the top search. If this number goes up to, let's say, 50%, so it means that this E5 product actually contributes to potentially 50% of the sales. This is just click-through, we don't share actual sales, so we use click-through as a reference. Imagine 5 products actually contribute to 50% of the sale. It may actually shows that there's a potential for you to consider penetrating this, because you just need to try to win one of these 5 products, you potentially can make the sale. But how do you win them, right? So one thing that we always suggest is customer review insights. Customer review insight. As a customer, you see them as the higher the score and more willing to buy. However, as a seller looking for a product to sell, actually look at the best rating, which is over here, quality. And to make sure my quality is the best, to make sure the customer will vote for my quality. However, I also look at the worst attribution over here. Maybe it's, okay, it's not very bad over here, but leakage is something that's a very concern for kids water bottle. So how can you make sure that when you work with your manufacturer, your bottle do not have any form of leakage? This is something that you should really, really make sure that you can actually resolve the customer pain point. And from there, you'll be able to better target your customer in the long run and get your sales, right? So do your research and even look at trends, like trend line, okay? It's loading for a while. So over here, there are trend lines for the last 12 months. You see how products spike, how product kind of slow down. Maybe there are more people purchasing water bottle for kids because it's during the summer. Maybe it's really hot in the US, purchasing more water bottle during the summer, and there's the trend lines over here. Alright, so understand your product movement and how your category actually moves with the seasonality. If you have nothing to take away, make sure you take away this website link, because this is where you can find a lot of information. And if you have a Amazon Seller Central account, make use of the Seller Central account to find information. Over here, there's a search button. Any questions that you do not know, any things that you do not know, do not go to Google if you have an Amazon Seller account. If you have an Amazon Seller account, come to this portal, search it. So for example, over here I search product compliance. If I'm selling the toys, do I need to have certain registration? If I'm selling food, do I need an FDA? For toys and baby, I need a CPSC. So come to this platform, use this tool to make sure you know what you are looking for. Amazon gives you the latest information that's required. Alright?
Alright, let's give a round of applause to Sengwei. Alright, now I'd like to invite Josephine from Accolade IP, who's going to share more about trademarks with us. Josephine, please.
Hello everyone, good evening. I am Attorney Josephine Go. I am the PH Managing Partner of Accolade IP, and I am the US Trademark Head of Accolade. So for today's discussion, I will be leading on the subject filing USPTO trademark application with Accolade IP for Amazon sellers. Accolade IP stands as a dedicated intellectual property service provider extending exclusive discounted rates tailored specifically for Amazon sellers. Accolade IP is part of the SPN, or the Service Provider Network of Amazon, and Accolade IP will help you navigate the complexities of filing a trademark application in the USPTO. So you may register your trademark in the US for as low as $625 US. This is a special rate for Amazon sellers. This is already inclusive of all official fees and professional fees from filing of an application to the issuance of the certificate of registration, except for the 12% VAT, bank charges, and potential fees for filing a response to an office action. So if you'll see on our website, the standard fee for filing an application in the US is 45,500 pesos. That's around 800 plus US dollars. But for Amazon sellers, it's only $625 US, which is approximately equivalent to 34,650 as of the current date. So who among you is interested in registering your brand on Amazon.com? It is crucial to have your brand registered with the USPTO. However, if you haven't completed the registration process yet, having a pending application in the USPTO will also suffice for Amazon's brand registry. Here we present a selection of our clients' trademarks that have been successfully registered within the Amazon brand registry. It is important to note that while several of these marks have completed the registration process, others are presently pending approval in the USPTO and have yet to be fully registered. So by way of reiteration, your mark doesn't need to be instantly approved in the USPTO. A pending application in the USPTO will be sufficient. So here are several advantages of USPTO trademark registration for Amazon brand registry. Number one is enhanced brand protection. A registered trademark affords stronger legal protection against unauthorized users and sellers of your brand name and logo. Number two is powerful search and report tools. With brand registry, you gain access to advanced search and reporting tools of Amazon, making it easier to find potentially infringing listings and report it to Amazon for removal. And number three is customer trust. A registered brand affords legitimacy and trust to your brand, which can positively influence the customer buying decisions. So here are the requirements for filing a trademark application in the US with Accolade. Number one, to initiate a comprehensive preliminary search and ensure accurate assessment for your trademark application in the United States, we kindly request the following documentation from you. So number one is a copy of your logo in digital format. This is essential for us to conduct due diligence. So as you may be aware, before filing of your application in the USPTO, we will conduct a comprehensive due diligence to ensure that your mark has a high chance that it will be accepted in the USPTO. Number two is an electronic copy of your certificate of registration, or even if you have a pending application in your country of origin, if applicable. So this is essential for us to determine the basis that we will utilize for your US trademark application. And lastly, your website, social media sites, and marketing materials. For this one, this will be essential for us in drafting and curating your specifications for your US trademark application. Please be aware that we will perform thorough due diligence using the provided requirements. In addition to manual searches, we employ cutting-edge AI-powered software that aids us in assessing the registrability of your mark. For this one, please give us at least 1 to 3 business days for us to give a comprehensive search report. Following our comprehensive due diligence, we will proceed to determine the most suitable application basis to utilize for your trademark registration. So in the US, there are 4 bases in filing an application in the USPTO. Number 1 is Section 1A or actual use. This signifies that you are already actually using the mark within the US commerce. Number 2 is Section 1B or intent to use. This signifies that you have the intention to use your mark within the US commerce. Number 3 is Section 44D or foreign application. This signifies that you have a pending application in your country of origin. And lastly is foreign registration. This signifies that you have a registered trademark in your country of origin. So let's discuss one by one. Section 1A or actual use. For Section 1A, proof of use within US commerce is essential. So in practice, a mere picture of your product bearing the logo will be sufficient. However, examiners usually issue additional information or documentation in cases of uncertainty or when the specimen seems to be a mock-up. So if your specimen appears to be digitally altered or considered to be a mock-up, there are times that the examiner will ask for further proof, like for instance, proof of sales in the US, while of course redacting the personal and sensitive information. In the application form, it is necessary to specify both the first date of use in the United States and any other location. Next is Section 1B or intent to use. Among the 4 bases, Section 1B has the lengthiest process due to the inclusion of a notice of allowance stage, a step that does not exist in the other bases. Section 1B incurs an additional official fee as you are required to submit specimens during the notice of allowance stage. So as compared with the other bases, for Section 1B, you need to submit specimens and there's a cost for that. So the additional fee for filing an application under Section 1B is an additional $320. That's why among the 4 bases, I really do not recommend to pursue Section 1B. If you can apply for an application in the I fulfill, then the better way. We can utilize Section 44D instead of pursuing Section 1B because in Section 1B, there's an additional cost of again $320. And by the time that there's already a notice of allowance stage and you cannot submit the proof of use during the 6-month period, you can file another extension of another 6 months. And there's an additional fee of $230. If your mark seems to be very descriptive, pursuing registration on the supplemental registry is discouraged, especially since it is also not permissible for Amazon brand registry. Additionally, please be aware that Section 1B is not a viable option for supplemental registration. So for instance, if your mark is considered to be merely descriptive, it will not be accepted by the Amazon. So for instance, your mark has been approved in supplemental registry, but considering that supplemental registry is not accepted by the Amazon, then it's just futile. Next is Section 44D or foreign application. If you have submitted an application for the identical trademark and for the same goods and or services within your country of origin, you have the option to select Section 44D as your filing basis. A grace period of 6 months is provided. However, beyond this 6-month grace period, utilizing Section 44D as a filing basis is no longer a viable option. So for example, you have a pending application in the I field. Let's say you filed the application last December 2022. And since the 6-month grace period has already lapsed, this option is no longer feasible. Please be aware that the trademark application from your country of origin should closely match your application in the United States. The application and the details provided in your US application should exhibit a high level of similarity. So say for instance, you have applied an application in the IFO field. You have indicated only for wallets, then you would like to add bags in your application in the USPTO, it will be rejected since the specifications must be exactly identical. And lastly, Section 44E or foreign registration. Should you possess a certificate of registration for your mark in your country of origin, it is also admissible as a foundation for submitting a US application under Section 44E. Similar to Section 44D, your certificate of registration must be highly identical with your US application to meet the criteria for acceptance. Under this basis, as well as in the context of Class 44D, specimens are not required at the filing stage and only be necessitated during the maintenance period. So among the four bases, if you have a registered trademark in the IFO field, then I suggest to pursue an application in the US utilizing Section 44E. Because under this basis, we do not need to submit specimens during the application filing process. Hence, the process makes it smoother, faster, and easier. Next is we need to determine whether your mark should be filed under TIS Plus or TIS Standard. If your goods or services descriptions are found in the ID manual list, then of course, we can utilize your application under TIS Plus. But if some of the items are not found in the ID manual list, then we need to apply your application under TIS Standard. And for TIS Standard, the process here is lengthier because the examiner needs to conduct more examination if your recommended specifications are accepted or misclassified. Next is we need to determine whether your mark should be filed as a standard character mark or as a stylized. So to gain a better understanding of this, I have presented an illustration as can be seen on the slide. So as can be seen here, the ABC is rendered as a stylized font. Hence, it is considered as a stylized mark. However, if the word mark appears to have no any embellishments, then it is considered as a standard character mark. Between the two options, I will always recommend to pursue an application under a standard character mark. Because for a standard character mark, you can use any stylizations in the future. But of course, if your mark appears to be merely descriptive, then you need to file your application as a stylized character mark, wherein we need to add another figurative elements for it to be accepted in the USPTO. So if you have any inquiries, just please feel free to scan the QR code. And you may also visit our office. It is just located in the CIP building. We are just near the IFO field and the Venice Grand Canal Mall. And for the reminders, once we have set up these particulars, Accolade will assume the responsibility for submitting your US trademark application and will diligently track any notifications or updates from the USPTO pertaining to your mark. Following the submission of your application, you can visit www.emzn.2/ph-accolade-IP where you become eligible for a free account management support offered by the Amazon team. Please feel free to provide your details to express your interest in the Amazon Global Selling Program. Subsequently, Amazon's account managers will be in touch to initiate a business review. For this one, please give the Amazon team at least 1 week to provide feedback after you have completed the form using the provided link. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Josephine. I hope you guys found that session with Josephine very useful. And next, I would like to invite Jaime from One Export, who's going to share with us about logistics. Jaime, please.
Okay, so good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. So I'll be discussing how to send your items to Amazon. Of course, whether you're an FBA seller or you're an FBM seller, there's always that extra step of sending your items from the Philippines to the United States. So I am here on behalf of our company, One Export, or Ship It, which is basically the logistics service of One Export. So I'll be talking about the basics of shipping, probably helping you guys understand how to send your items in the most efficient way, and for you guys to also know the different ways of sending your items. So if we go to the options of sending out and shipping, you basically have, we can categorize it into two different categories. The first one is an air courier, and then the second one is forwarding. So if you want to determine whether to send your items through an air courier or through forwarding, you have to look at two aspects, which is the volume and the value. So if it is both low volume and low value, that is when you want to consider sending it through an air courier. But the moment that one of them is either high volume or high value, that's when you want to consider forwarding. So this forwarding is basically sending your items in bulk, and this is where it becomes a commercial shipment. So there are different options. You have a less than container load, a full container load, where it's a 20 or a 40 footer, and you can also send via air, which is air freight forwarding. So if you want to determine, or if you want to understand the concept of low volume and low value, the easiest way to sort of think about it is, it's low volume if the quantity of items can pass off as a personal shipment. So if I am sending 20 bottles of gourmet fish to the US, and it's maybe around, like I mentioned, it's 20 bottles, we can still sort of pass that off as a sample or as a personal shipment. But if you're sending maybe 20 cell phones, 20 laptops, obviously that is going to be considered as more than a personal shipment. That's already high volume. When you think about low value, this one depends on a term called de minimis. Can I get a raise of hands first of anybody who's purchased items from abroad and had them ship it here to the Philippines? Okay, good. So you may be familiar that, I'm not sure if it happened to you, but if the item is above 10,000 pesos, you will be taxed. So 10,000 pesos is the de minimis of the Philippines. It's different per country. So if it is below 10,000 pesos, most probably it won't be taxed, depending on the item. For the United States, their de minimis is $800. So as long as it doesn't exceed $800, we can sort of say that it's low in value. So in terms of our service, in terms of the services of Ship It and One Export, when you look at our air courier service, that is our, excuse me. Wait first. Okay, that is our Ship It Express. So Ship It Express is our air courier shipment, where generally when you send items abroad, so not just to the United States, our Ship It Express service can send to many different countries. But when you are sending an item through Ship It Express, we say that these are personal items, these are sample items. And when you send it, generally no documents are needed. Of course, there are times where it's needed, or for cosmetic items, or let's say items that may consider that contain alcohol, to make sure that it is safe for transit. But if you're sending, again, the example of food, it needs to at least have an FDA here in the Philippines before we can send it out abroad. This is just for to avoid any sort of contamination or hygienic purposes. But you don't necessarily need to have a copy of that. So if I'm going to send something as a gift to somebody else, it can be accepted. Speaking for the United States, of course, again, depending on the destination country, it's different. So we make sure to check if the items are acceptable in the destination country first before we accept your items, and to make sure that no problems arise during the whole transit. So another example, again, going back to food, if you're sending, let's say, to the United Kingdom, to Europe, they're very strict with food. They don't like food with animal byproducts, or they want the food to be manufactured in Europe. They're quite strict. But if you're sending to the United States, they're only strict with meat products, beef or pork. Also in Australia, they're not too strict with other food items unless it's beef or pork. But surprisingly, when you also send to within Southeast Asia, they're also strict with food items. That's something that we were not sure of. Again, going to other examples, if you're sending medicines, generally they would want prescription from a doctor in the destination. So it varies per country, but we make sure to check before it's sent out. So when we think about how express shipments are priced, there is a term that we call chargeable weight. So whenever you send to DHL, UPS, FedEx, or even through us, all of our rates are based on chargeable weight. So if you see let's say 5,000 pesos for 5 kilos, 10,000 pesos for 15 kilos, that is based on chargeable weight, which is volumetric weight versus the actual weight. So the concept of volumetric weight is when you measure the box, get the dimensions in centimeters, length times width times height, all over 5,000. The number that you get is the volumetric weight. So the pricing of an item is based on whichever is higher between the volumetric and the actual weight. So I'll give some examples. For example number 1, it's a small box with these dimensions. It has a volumetric weight of 5 kilograms. But when we measure it on the weighing scale, it comes out at 20 kilograms. Easy to understand, it will just be based on the weight. But for the next example that I have, it's a large box, light item. It's Christmas season per month. A lot of our shipments now are bottles sending to the US, sending to Australia. This is an easy example to think about. Very light item, low in weight, but large in the box and in the volume. So for this example, with the box, it has an equivalent weight of 25 kilos. Actually, it is only 5 kilos, but you will still be charged based on the box dimensions or the box weight. So your volumetric weight is basically your minimum chargeable weight. So whether, again, maybe going to this example, even if the actual weight goes up to 70 kilograms, I will be charged 70 kilograms. But the moment it exceeds, once it becomes 25.5, 26, or 27, that's when the actual weight, you'll be charged based on the actual weight. So our other service, it's basically ship and forwarding. As what I mentioned earlier, you can have different ways of sending through forwarding. You can send it via air and via sea. You can send a less than container load or a full container load shipment. Or, and we also have services of other necessary compliance services. So let's say you need stickering, you need repacking, you can also offer that. And we also have consolidation and warehousing. So let's say you are filling up a container of many different from many different suppliers. We can receive it in our warehouse, store it for a few days until you get all of your products ready, and then you can ship it out altogether. So one thing to take note of when it's a forwarding shipment or when you send via sea and when you send via air freight forwarding is that this is automatically considered a commercial shipment. So with the example of, let's say, sending to Amazon, sending to the United States, there are documents that you need. Basic documents that you would need are a local export license here in the Philippines, an import license in the US or in the destination country, and you have to make sure that your item is compliant in the destination. Aside from here in the Philippines, it's compliant in the destination. So if you're sending food items, it needs to have an FDA in the United States. If you're sending drugs or cosmetics or cleaning items, it would also need an FDA in the US. There are other supporting documents, again, what I mentioned earlier, depending on the type of product that you have, as a material safety data sheet or MSDS, these other items so that we can check if it is allowed to be sent via forwarding or via sea. To maybe give a better example of this is when you travel to the US, for you to exit the Philippines, you need a Philippine passport. That is like the export license here. For you to enter the US, you need a US visa. That is your import license in the US. So now, those are our basic services. Now we're going to see how, when you send to Amazon, how it overlaps and how it becomes a bit more complicated, but we have services to sort of assist you guys with that. So Amazon, of course, this is considered as a commercial shipment, even if we send it via air courier, because the final destination is an Amazon warehouse. when US Customs looks at the package, it's obviously going to be sold. So it will be tagged as a commercial shipment, meaning that it has a higher chance of being charged duties and taxes. For food and cosmetics and drugs and cleaning items, as what I mentioned earlier, you would need a FDA or it needs to be compliant in the destination. For non-food items, example, if you're sending rattan wooden products, usually they would require either a fumigation certificate or we'd have to declare sort of the type of food, the type of finish, all of these other documents which are needed. One thing to also to take note is that now, since it's considered a commercial shipment, they will look for an importer on record. Amazon is not the final recipient of the goods. They're not the owners. The owner of the goods will be whoever buys it. So Amazon is a transit point, it is a holding company, it's for lack of better term, it's a warehouse. It's just going to be there in the meantime. So Amazon cannot be the importer on record. They cannot be the owner of the goods. Apologies, I forgot to mention earlier, if you are sending via express shipment to a loved one, let's say not through Amazon, if ever there are duties and taxes, they will pay for it. So if I am sending to my brother in the US, they will charge $20 for duties and taxes. My brother will pay $20. Here, Amazon cannot pay that because they are not the recipient. So if duties and taxes are applied, there is no point person. So that causes a problem. We've had a few shipments where a client, it didn't happen for our shipment, but then our client went up to us because their item was held in customs. Kasi walang importer record. There's nobody to charge any duties and taxes. But for us, for shipment for one export, we have a Philippine export license and we have a US import license. So any duties and taxes that may be charged will be charged to us, which eventually we will just charge back to you. So how can Shipit help you? So I touched on this a bit. First thing that we can assist you with is documentation and compliance assistance. So Shipit, One Export, which is our main company, they assist clients here in the Philippines to become export ready. So we assist with getting the local FDA or getting the US FDA if needed. We also have, as what I mentioned, we have an importer record and we have a food facility registration number. So our FFRN, or the food facility registration number, which is basically the US FDA or the counterpart, we can use it for a few shipments. But of course, we want you guys to apply your own if needed. And for bulk shipping. Again, for bulk shipping, usually if you go straight to a forwarder, they will not ask you, or they won't necessarily care about your documents. They won't ask for your export license. They won't ask for the import license in the US. Parang kayo na bahala. So sometimes when they give you a quotation, it's just to send the items. They don't really handle clearance so much, or they don't provide you an export license or an import license. So we've had a few shipments where clients go up to us because their items are held in the US Customs because they don't have an import license. They cannot process it, which is they didn't know about it. They didn't know about all of these other requirements. So because of our licenses, we can offer the full service of bulk shipping, from picking up here in the Philippines, to sending to clearing here in the Philippines, the freight, clearance in the US, and delivery in the US. So going to the compliances, this is honestly not my expertise. I have a colleague who can assist with this, but I'll just touch on this a while. So let's say if you meet a US FDA, as long as your items are fully registered here in the Philippines, this is for food. If you have the Philippine FDA, and if you can change your label requirements, which we will advise you on, it takes around 2 weeks. So the other items for US FDA for non-food, it needs to undergo assessment. For example, because what happens with cosmetics, if I am going to sell soap to the United States, generally that's for cosmetics. But the moment it becomes whitening soap, that might be tagged as a drug because of the ingredients, because of the intended use and the label content. So it needs to undergo assessment first. Local compliances, again, we have to undergo assessment depending on your current status and your current requirements. So general items not allowed, as what I mentioned, or as if you look here in the photo, a lot of these items are just either very restricted, where you would need more documents, or a proper broker in the US to clear, or they are not allowed in the carrier or in the aircraft, or they're illegal. Okay? So that basically ends my talk. One thing that, so I'll just flash this on screen. So you can email us freely if you have any more questions. You can approach me later in the back. One thing that I want to emphasize before I end is that, of course, we are a service provider. We can assist clients if they need to send not only to the US, but let's say to Australia, Europe. But we're not only service providers. We'd like for you guys to think of us as service partners. So if you need help in terms of sending your products, if you need help in maybe costing out your logistics, if you need help in understanding the compliance and requirements of sending your products abroad, feel free to just message us. We'll be happy to help. We'll be happy to consult you guys. We always just say it's free to consult. So feel free again to email us if you have any more questions or approach me later. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Heidi. Let's give him a round of applause. And next, I'd like to invite Payoneer, Carlos. Carlos will be sharing with us more about cross-border payments. Carlos, please.
Hello. Ayan, so, hi everyone. Is it just me or is it ako lang talaga nilalamig dito? It's very cold, no? So, anyway, as a sample of a cold start from me, so I'm here to discuss about simplifying your payments, okay? So, who here has already opened the US banking account? Show of hands. Same here. I don't know how you open it, I don't know the requirements. Usually when we open a Philippine bank account, it's hard as it is. So we're actually here to help you with that one. So before anything else, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Carlos. So I'm an inside sales manager here in Payoneer. So I handle Asia Pacific region. So the agenda for today is just for you to know who Payoneer is, how we can help with you on your journey with Amazon, as well as the additional tools that we can provide you alongside to provide you extra support in your Amazon journey. So the only thing that you need to know with Payoneer is that we're a platform that enables you to do business cross-border. Meaning that you won't have to worry about receiving accounts from different countries. We all have that in Payoneer. So if you need a Canadian bank account, a European bank account, Payoneer has that for you. So all you need to do is just have that account in Payoneer and just withdraw it using your Philippine bank account. So it's very easy. So you have access to like global markets with just one platform. So just at a glance, you'll see that Payoneer is actually present globally, and we have a lot of local teams located in different regions of the world. We have offices in UAE, in New York, where else? In Japan, Korea. So if you can name the place, there's someone there who will be able to support your business. So as you can see, Payoneer is also a big partner of many different brands. Of course, we can highlight this Amazon, of course. And of course, we are also trusted by a lot of Amazon sellers. So who knows, maybe one of you here will also be featured in our next PowerPoint. So in terms of how does Payoneer work with Amazon, we have actually two things. We act as like the middleman. in such a way that you get paid through Payoneer, and then you can pay someone else when you need their services rendered, right? So if ever, let's say your business is big enough already and you need to hire people, you can actually hire freelancers from different parts of the world and pay them with Payoneer. So it's very easy for you to really have access to global talent with just one platform. So Carlos, my question is, once I have Payoneer, what is the flow? So simply, once you create a Payoneer account, you'll be issued virtual receiving accounts in USD or whatever currency you choose. So for example, for Amazon US, you'll get a USD account. So once registered, you connect your Payoneer account to your Amazon account and then use that to receive payments from Amazon. So with Payoneer, usually if you have suppliers, let's say in China or in Pakistan, it's very easy for you to convert your Amazon money into different currencies within Payoneer. So you don't have to go to withdraw your money and have it exchanged with a bank or go through, money exchangers here in the Philippines. So it's all in one platform. So you don't have to actually leave your house. So it's that simple with our platform. And also, you'll also be thinking, Carlos, once I receive the money, how easy it is to withdraw with my Philippine bank account. So we actually have many partners in the Philippines. So we have partners with Union Bank, BPI, BDO. So all of the major bank accounts, we have strong relationships with. So it won't be an issue if you need to withdraw your money because Payoneer has always built this strong relationship with banks to support you.
Question, Carlos.
Yes.
Does it integrate into accounting softwares like Xero or QuickBooks Online?
So currently, we also have integrations like QuickBooks. So if ever we're always in the journey of adding more integrations, so maybe in the future we'll also have different features, but most certainly we have QuickBooks as an integration. And also you'll be saying, Carlos, is it the only way that I can withdraw funds is through my bank? What if I need it as soon as possible? What if I need it 3 a.m. in the morning? Well, we don't have a bank open that time. Well, luckily for us, we also have integrations with GCash. So with GCash, all you have to do is just connect your Payoneer account and then easily withdraw your funds through GCash. And again, here are the sample currencies that you have. So once you have your Payoneer account, you can actually request different currencies. And then I've already explained that you can use your account in multiple ways. It's to receive funds instantly, pay your suppliers from across the world, and also, if needed, you also have the ability to pay back. Like I've mentioned, you can pay suppliers. So the good thing with Payoneer is that if your supplier has a Payoneer account, you can actually send the money Payoneer to Payoneer. And the best part is it's less than 5 minutes. So no matter which part of the country the person is, once you send that payment within 5 minutes, he's going to reach the payment already. And then if ever your partner hasn't really started with your Payoneer journey, you can also directly deposit it to their bank account. So it's very simple, really. It's just a matter of just inputting their bank account in the currency and the location of the bank, and then just send it. So also, once you have an account with Payoneer, you can also avail a debit card. So with a debit card, it makes it easier for you to do any marketing event that you might need to grow your business. So best part here is that if you have a USD account, you can avail of a USD debit card. So what would that mean would be is that once you do, let's say you need to buy or you need to purchase ad time for Google Ads, right? So when you use Google Ads, you'd have to pay in USD. But since you have a USD debit card, there will be no FX charges for you. So that will be an additional way for you to save. And then an additional tools for Amazon sellers is that once you've conquered the US, let's say you have the thirst to conquer Canada next, you can actually connect your Payoneer account to multiple stores that you have, and then access it to just one Payoneer account. So it's going to be easy for you to really handle funds, because I know that when handling funds, it's always easy to depend on just one platform. We can also have like another tool is that you can actually make payments directly to Amazon advertising and transparency. So we also have that in the platform built in just to support you in your business. So that's basically it. We're an all-in-one platform for all your e-commerce channels. So please feel free to add us. And if ever you also want to register or have additional questions, feel free to scan this QR code. And then once you scan it, we'll send you a message and maybe you can talk more and see how else we can help you grow your business. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carlos. I know I'm standing between you and dinner, but I have one last introduction that I would like to introduce you to. We have Apollo e-commerce. Let's welcome JP Lauren, who is going to share more about what Apollo e-commerce is all about. It's just a very short introduction and a shout out for them. Please let's put our hands together to invite JP.
Hello, good evening everyone. So we're Apollo e-commerce, and I'm sorry I'm gonna take a little bit of your time. Today we just want to discuss, I think earlier a lot of people here are kind of interested and want to know about product listings. So I think we're gonna tackle it about on how we could assist you further with it. So we're pretty much like a medium-scale company here in the Philippines. We've been into e-commerce for about more than 10 years now. So we capitalized e-commerce ever since it began here. So it focused and then pretty much it worked well for us. So again, as what I've said, so we've been about for 10 years. We provide end-to-end solution. So if we have clients who want to work with having their own digital stores, from design, from graphics, from everything that all of our clients would need. So that's where we come in. Alright, guys. Sorry, I got a lot of slides, so we're gonna cut it out too. So most of the services here, we're on the creative side, the back office. So mostly we started supporting most of our clients through Amazon. Why Amazon? Because if you guys master Amazon, you can sell anything to any digital platform, and that's how powerful Amazon is. So one good thing, 2 months ago, I had a meeting with them, with Tristan and the team, and they introduced to me the global selling that they'll be coming here in the Philippines. So I found it's really great. It's just about time that our products can be easily sold to other countries, especially US. So it's just a perfect time that we have the Amazon global selling here now. So it's a little bit technical, but then once you get into it, it's something that can make your business grow easily. So I think I'm gonna cut it through. We go to the introduction for product listings. These are our clients. All right. Okay. All right. Hello. So what's product listings? Basically, the product listings is your image. Alright, so that's going to be who you are in the digital world. So it is important that the way your stores look, the way that your stores, tell a story about who you are, should make an impact. So the moment that you put a brand or whatever you're selling there, so your listing should easily searchable, okay? So that's first, when you start your product listing, there's a title. So pretty much you guys have gone through Amazon or other a shopping platform, right? So there are criteria and things that needed to like formats. So first, like there has to be a number of characters, and then the brand, the description, and everything else goes down. So, but it's not just about putting in title. So that's where we come in. We educate people. We help brands to make their titles and the brand more searchable. It's a keyword friendly. That's how we say it. So it's not something that you would put in a title and expect that your brands or your product gonna be sold out easily. It doesn't really work that way. So imagine if you're selling something, you might have different competitors with you selling the same product, right? So this is where you need to come up with unique keywords and So I said the description has to be storytelling or a create scenario, something that would catch up the traffic. So if somebody gone to your store and read about the description, it's something that would catch your attention easily. So, okay, let's go through that. Okay. So now let's go back to image. All right. So mostly, if you would see, Amazon will also have restrictions when it comes to the sizes and the quality of the image. So it's something that you guys should also consider of. So again, later on, you want to learn more about it. Our booth is somewhere there, and so we can also educate you and show you how it's done. And we can walk you through everything that you need to know. Also, I think earlier there was also a question, ma'am, like earlier, if you have some collection, something you want to be sold. So it's something they need to register with Amazon. If it's allowed, then it's something you need to work on the title. And we can also help you out later on with it. Again, so this is very important. Sorry, I'm in a rush. I think I've been running through my words here. The SEO-driven keywords is something very, very important. Because the moment that they type in the key in something on your brand, you have to be on top. Right? So imagine, if all you guys go in Google, like, you want to be right away in the first page. Right? If you get some of the 7, 8, then I'm sorry. You lost already the first traffic of potential customers. So this is the important that all keywords has to be SEO driven. Okay, so now this is one of the sample created mainly by this guy here. Mac is one of my project listers for over the years now. So start down. So when you go to some stores, this is how you want to see it, right? You see some images, so it has to be with good quality, and the listings how so every word has to be keyword friendly and searchable. So later on, we're gonna go through it. As much as I want to go through further, I only have like a couple of minutes here. So there. So this is Amazon A+ listings. It's new with the Amazon services. So it has to be storytelling, has to capture the attention right away of the customers. I want to help you out. Me and my company can easily help you out to build your brands, work it out, and make it happen with Amazon. So with Amazon Global Selling, all your products can easily be searchable in US market, in UK market, whenever, wherever you want to sell it. So again, thank you. That's our booth. We'll provide you all our details, the website where you can get us if you wanna, need our help, and we'll be right over there. Thank you, Tristan. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, JP, for giving us such a short and crisp yet great sharing of Accolade e-commerce. So do feel free to actually head to their booth later on if you have any questions for them. Okay, last of all, I just need you guys to bear with me for 3 more minutes. I have a short video from Registrar Corp. They're going to share more about compliance. It's a 3-minute video, so let me just play it for you guys. Just give me a moment.
Are you confused by U.S. Food and Drug Administration regulations? You aren't alone. Founded in 2003, Registrar Corp is the world's leading FDA consulting company. Our team of regulatory experts are focused on helping producers and importers with all their FDA needs. With 20 offices worldwide, we offer our expertise no matter where you are. Whether you need help with food and beverages, drugs, medical devices, or other products, we are here to help. Our team is dedicated to giving you the most cost-effective options on the market, with fixed-rate prices for all our services. What are you waiting for? Join over 30,000 companies around the world that trust Registrar Corp as their comprehensive FDA compliance solution.
Hello, it's nice to see you all. I'm Agus Tiawan. I'm a regulatory advisor from Registrar Corp. So Registrar Corp is a private company in the United States. We are located in Virginia. We are a company that provides US FDA registration, US agent, and regulatory compliance assistance for US and non-US companies in the food and beverage, medical device, drug, cosmetic, and radiation emitting device industries for more than 20 years. Now we have more than 30,000 clients from more than 175 countries. Registrar Corp has come a long way in 2 decades, and that's just the beginning. As we continue to grow and evolve as leaders in compliance, our progress will always be measured by our ability to support our clients, promote consumer safety, and help keep our supply chain healthy. Why should we pay attention to complying to US FDA regulation? Number one, failure to comply with the US FDA regulation may result in extra costs from fines and detentions of shipment at the US ports. Secondly, failure to comply with the US FDA regulations may result in reputational risk. This is because the US is very transparent with its efforts with ensuring compliance with the US FDA regulations. Any offenses are published on the US FDA websites. This post will potentially affect both your company's reputation as well as your country's reputation. So there are subcategories of compliance to the US FDA regulations you need to know before shipment. There are food and beverages, cosmetics, drugs, medical devices, tobacco, electronic and radiation emitting device, etc. So stay tuned in all programs in the future to keep more updated on the US FDA regulations, compliance with us, Registrar Corp, in Amazon. Thank you very much. See you.
Are you
All right, thank you so much.